For those who know what's right. For those wedded to the machines in their bedrooms, their studios, their best friend's garage or basement. For those who negotiate with the system every day to make time for the music that matters. For those who get in debt to fund the fight against the mundane. For those who stay true to their cause even in the face of income and fame through compromise. For those who feel the power of every beat. For those who keep their minds open. For those who encourage and support those pursuing their personal dream. For those who sacrifice relationships to make sure the music is heard. For those for which the music is a lifetime, not a pastime. This is Bass Agenda.
Okay, so fine, see what I said. I don't say anything. I've tried saying. Okay, so try and release yourself. Release you, you mean? Yeah, fine, release me. Just say it. Just fucking say it. Don't you swear at me, you little shit. Don't you ever raise your voice to me. I am your mother. Do you understand? All I do is worry and slave and defend you. And all I get back is that fucking face on your face. So full of disdain and resentment and always so annoyed. Well, now your sister is dead. And I know you miss her. And I know it was an accident. And I know you're in pain. And I wish I could take that away from you. I wish I could shield you from the knowledge that you did what you did. But your sister is dead. She's gone forever. I'm sorry, or faced up to what happened. Maybe then we could do something with this, but you can't. So now I can't accept, and I can't forgive.
Hi, how you doing? Welcome to Bass Agenda, first show of 2024. Always exciting knowing we've got another 12 months of new music ahead of us. And what better way to start the year than somebody who's making a real splash in the scene. Very prolific, very talented, someone who's really pushing boundaries and developing his own very cool sound. If you listen to shows with Francois Dillinger and Syrte over the last year or so, you'll have heard them mention him. So it was really cool when he got in touch to ask if he could come on the show. Complete no-brainer for me to say yes. I am of course talking about French producer Lord Jalapenos. Huge amount of music out there on a number of labels: Science Cult, Specimen, Diffuse Reality. Some great self-release stuff, and also some very cool stuff just available on his SoundCloud page, which is what we're kicking off with here. Really nice guy, had a really good chat, and we've got some great tunes for you. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Lord Jalapenos, and you're listening to Bass Agenda.
Now, when I interviewed Syrte, he told me that the name Lord Jalapenos came from just simply came from your love of eating jalapeno.
It's it's yeah. It's the thing.
It's a cool name, man. I love it. It's so unique. You cannot forget it.
Thank you. I mean, I was in my car. I mean, there was a huge period when I was studying, when I was just eating jalapenos, just like this, you know. And I was like, oh, you know, let's do it that way. And
I love it.
As simple as it is, man.
So that literally is the story behind the name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, you know.
I like it.
Fun fact, man. Since my birthday, my lovely sisters bought me a tiny area in Ireland. In Scotland, I guess. Yeah, in Scotland. And when you have a tiny area in Scotland, you can't ask for a title of Lord. So she got me an official title of Lord Jalapenos. So yeah.
Wow. Oh man.
Yeah, lovely sister, isn't it?
I would have been more respectful if I'd known that was the case.
I mean, this is the goal. The goal is achieved now.
Oh, that's so cool! I've got to do that, man. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, so lovely gift idea as well.
Lord Base Agenda.
Exactly. I mean, and you can.
It's got a ring to it.
Interesting, no?
Yeah. No, I love it, man. It's so funny because and it's also cool as well because as you say, as soon as you hear that, you make assumptions, I guess, about the kind of music that you think you're going to hear. So there's like an added impact when you hear the music. It's like, oh, hang on a minute, there's more to it.
I didn't see it like this.
We're expecting kind of mariachi.
I will maybe do a cover of something mariachi at one point.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Electronic music, I'm doing this since I'm producing this since around 4 years now. Before this, I was drumming. I was playing the drum a lot, mainly in metal band. Mm-hmm. So it was way more acoustic related. My first entrance in electronic music was more about techno. Was more about a social group kind of music instead of something more personal and you know. And then Francois Dillinger and Dillinger's music came in my life, and just made it made a lot of sense in between, you know, this discovering of electronic music, and also it definitely reminds me of vibes of some metal bands, and this type of dark room atmosphere, like going down, but it's nice also, you know, to have this feeling of it's just something pushing you through pushing boundaries, and it was one of the first discovery in electronic music where I was like, and also one of the first for me personally electronic music discoveries.
Right, cool. Yeah. No, I'm like you, man. I like metal. It was my first love was really metal, I guess.
Definitely. I mean, what kind of metal were you listening to?
Well, I'm a bit older than you, I reckon. So how old are you?
I'm 26.
You're 26. Okay, well I'm 49 this year. So I was back in the original kind of Sepultura, Pantera, Tool, all that kind of era.
Of course.
Stuff.
It's definitely comparable. I mean, electronic music is. I mean, when you listen to Sepultura, I mean, Roots, Bloody Roots, just the rhythm. It's definitely the same roots. as electro, and I mean all the movement of EBM, EDM, I always. I mean, EBM.
EBM's the one that's not shit.
Hey, thank you. That was my point. Yeah, EBM. So you can't just assume that there is just one style for one that has just one direction. So parallel is.
It's that old cliche, I think, isn't it? Of there's good music and there's bad music, and that's it. You know? we don't have to put everything give everything a label. You know.
Exactly.
Hallo, ich bin Helena Hauf und ihr hört Bass Agenda Radio.
So when you first started out, you say you were making techno, so sort of 4/4 beat,
yeah,
fairly conventional structure stuff. So how did you make that transition? Because the structure of your music now is, I mean, you use a lot of unusual patterns, which make it really in a good way. And I'm just thinking that's quite a leap from techno. So how did that come about?
It's honestly not very clear for me as well. So when I came up about techno, I was really fascinated by the Geo 9x9. It was more about acid techno. So, and I was discovering techno music at this moment, and I was as well discovering live music. And I saw a video of them with so much machines. I was like, okay, what's this? And then the gear patience comes to me, and I discover what you can do, what you can produce, and then I buy myself an Electron machine drum, and since then I was it was more or less the same period I was discovering Francois Dillinger, and so it was the exercise was more about experimenting with the gear and just see where I can go with it all alone, and putting more drum pattern, so in drum knowledge I had into it, and then, I mean, maybe I crossed at this moment the line about not making 4/4 again, or just I was. It felt more personal at this moment. I mean, rhythm is really is for me one of the key. When I compose, 80% of the time started from the rhythm,
right,
and then just expand all the idea, and 4/4 is sometimes also very it's very effective sometimes, in life situations, or more in life situations than producing, I guess, but it's not as much fun for me personally than just going nuts with the rhythm.
Amaryllis, man, that's so good. It is so good. But I mean, obviously the intro is pleasing. Is that Delia Derbyshire?
I wanted to ask you, but yeah, you got it right. It was Delia Derbyshire.
I assumed it was her. Yeah. That's fantastic.
I love Delia Derbyshire also had this idea of electronic music, that electronic music is something abstract, and it is something that everybody can shape to their own with their own vision. And so this track was a big shout out, to this woman, and to her work and her vision about music. Also, Amaryllis is the name of a plant, of a plant, yeah, and it's the favorite plant of my grandmother. So it was also a big shout out to her nice, as well. Nice. Lovely message, and I'm happy with this track. The fact that it has this kind of more maybe epic feeling, like the car and. Yeah,
I know what you're saying. It's got a certain kind of grandeur about it, and I love the way she talks. I love it because she almost sounds like she's surprised at what she's done. It's like, I did this and I did that, and then this happened, and it's is it music? I mean, I love there's a bit of innocence in a way.
Definitely. I mean, cool. By her own voice, she's also a musician. She has a lot of movement in her voice as well.
She does actually. Now, she does, doesn't
she? She is definitely a big inspiration as well. So the drum on it is also, I guess, pretty destructive. This was the main idea of something that is, I want a drum that just slaps you in the face kind of feeling, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely punchy. It's got a punch to it. Yeah.
That's the word.
I get you. Yeah.
And then came the idea about adding those vocals and this atmosphere like in between nostalgia and nostalgia describe it, I think, well, you know, in the well that it's maybe harsh, but it's also sounds a bit comforting. Is that the word? Like,
yeah,
you know?
I know what you mean. Actually, yeah, it kind of puts you in a bubble. Do you know what I mean? Great example. Yeah, it takes you somewhere and keeps you there for a few minutes, and it's yeah, I like that. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool, man. Amazing track, amazing.
Thank you.
It was only by gradually sort of infiltrating the system that I managed to do the music. I think you'd call that music, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
I did try to use electronic sounds wherever possible. And I think some of the sounds were what I'd call objet trouvé. There were bits cut out of other things after editing. Electronic sound. Oral imagination. Electronic sound.
alone, funnily enough, when you sent me that, I had just downloaded. I bought the USB.
Well done.
Yeah. Oh, so I mean, I haven't listened to everything on it yet, but it's such a good. The lineup on there is amazing, man. And I saw that you were on it, and I thought, well, I've got to get it because I'm interviewing you. So I have listened to that track, man. It's nice. And again, another sort of much slower paced.
Yeah, more
atmospheric track, but yeah.
I'm so happy about the way that it came out on Control Data Institute. I own anyone, I know from music and from my friends as well, in extension, so much. So when I can, whenever I can say thank you, I do. So it was my name appearing, on this release in particular is something, that touched me a lot, into my heart. So thanks to them, and for building up this label, and this idea. I mean, it's definitely refreshing now.
So is it? So it's the fact that it was released on that is why you chose that track, really? I guess more than the track itself. Or?
Yeah, and also the track itself. You know, I like just the fact that also again a lovely reminder that it's okay. That it's okay. You know, to be left alone and to sometimes be with yourself, you know. It's really important. So it was both this is why I both chose this as this track, you know, because of those ideas. I'm happy about the track also to have a lot of silence. It's more breathable track, I guess.
That's the word. Breathable. Yeah, exactly.
So ist da jemand means in German, is anybody there? So it's about the EP is called Irascible Message. It was a message sent to a close galaxy, to the one of the closest galaxy. It was sent in 1974, like with all the data, basics data of the planet Earth, just to if someone so if an extraterrestrial would capture it, so it will have. So it will have the basics informations, but the message by himself, you can see it on the internet. It's weird. It does looks weird, and you can't understand it really much. But it has a lot of informations in it. So the EP was about what if we take one moment to be the irascible message, and the track is Da Jemand is about it was about the feeling like it's a lonely message that is lost in the void of space, and I mean is anybody there? So it was the idea about it,
I don't know why it felt a bit warmer than some of the other, but I get that kind of melancholy, I guess, is maybe some of that as well.
It's when I was talking, lately about producing with feelings, I also love to produce with an idea behind it,
I can see that.
So it was kind of the case, with a lot of it was kind of the case also for Mariana Strange, with the idea of the abyssal region and the fear of the ocean, and this one, it was more about this idea of this message.
Now, my favourite, I think, although it probably changes every time I listen, of the ones you've chosen, I really like Substance Designer. It's hard to choose a favourite. I shouldn't have said favourite.
But still, thank you, man.
It's a good track, man. I really love it. Why is that one important for you?
I mean, I'm really happy with working with Vemadiodes onto this release, onto about the fact that all the revenue are going into an ONG, and
this is the Electro Unity.
Exactly, the volume 2.
Yeah, that's really really cool, man. And it's very eclectic.
Yeah, I love the fact that they choose this track because it was a track I composed really early into my electronic journey. I mean, all the people that I've been meeting since my journey are all passionate about electro. There are no middle about this. It's not about just a little bit or just no. It's all about
everybody's obsessed.
Exactly.
Everybody's obsessed.
And this is so lovely to see, and this is also well felt.
And very supportive too. I hope you feel that, man, because 99.9% of people are just so happy to help.
So much. I mean, this community is like a big family. It's we are not
no boundaries, no borders, no. That's how it should be, man. That's how it should be. This is what humans should be doing instead of the other shit we're doing right now.
You're fucking right. You're fucking right.
This is Dave Clark, and you're listening to Bass Agenda.
Quick interruption for you. Got some great news for you, and also need to thank a few people. First up, really excited to tell you that we're launching the sister podcast of Bass Agenda called Space Lab on the 9th of February. Those of you who listened in last year will remember an interview I did with Dr. Billy Proctor, who's in the middle of writing a book on the origins of the electro genre, particularly looking at the early days of electro hip-hop. Since that interview, we've been working on putting together a show which features guests from the old school days. Some really cool guests lined up for you, including the likes of the Egyptian Lover, David Noller, David Storrs, a few others for you too. We're kicking off on the 9th of February though with Michael Boogaloo Shrimp Chambers. Those of you old school heads will of course know his name and know the name of his character, Turbo, who featured in Breakdance the movie, or Breakin' as it's known in the US. So Billy and Phil Klein, aka Bass Junkie, are going to be co-hosting that, and you can hear the interview with Michael, who's an absolute ball of energy. I've got some really great stories for you about the movie, about electro, about breakdance, working with Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie. Make sure you check that out. Also need to thank some new patrons who are supporting Bass Agenda via patreon.com/Bass Agenda. Thank you so much for your support. Huge shout outs to Aaron Marr, to T Era, to Andreas Tagger, to Oris, and to JJ. Thanks to you guys, we can keep this thing on the road. Makes it easier and possible to do things like Space Lab as well.
Oh yeah, man, this is a totally different track. August Burns Red.
Yeah.
Mariana's Trench. Am I right thinking you've done a track called that, the same title?
Exactly. I mean, a track and EP. It was the first that came out.
Okay.
First recorded self-release.
What's the relationship, or is that just that can't be a coincidence?
Of course, it isn't a coincidence. And it was so August Burns Red. It's so when I was really drumming in my teenage, it was my main inspirations of doing drums. So Matt Grainer, the drummer, has a really particular way of drumming and adding stuff like more melodical part of the drum. Then it's more a part, it's not just background beats, it's more a part of all the music. And so in Mariana's Trench is I think the best example of their music about something also really still a lot inspiring for me. The fact that it is a contrast music in the way that they are really this high pitched, sad guitar with a lot of arpeggio. Something you can when you put this music into, when you split it from the guitar, that are really sad and really atmospheric, more like an ambient track, and you take the rest, the bass, the vocal, the drums, and the ambience and that builds.
It's quite a long introduction, isn't it? That part of the track's quite longer than you might expect from a band of that sort. I guess it's quite interesting.
I think so. I mean, were you aware about? I mean, didn't you know before this August Burns Red, or it was also?
No, I didn't. I didn't. The first thing that came to mind when I listened to that track was Kill Switch Engage.
Yeah.
Just because that's my kind of limited knowledge of new metal. But again, I think a similar style, not the same, because I think the August Burns Red actually sounds a bit more progressive.
Yeah, August Burns Red really stands out for me. the fact that I mentioned Mariana Trench, or that I use the name, Mariana Trench, is the fact that I, for two reasons. First and foremost, for a big shout out to one of my biggest inspirations, so Experience Reds and all this idea of contrast music, and also a second things, I can't produce without feelings. I can. It's not the way like, oh my god, I'm such an artist. It's more about that it has to be meaningful for me, and even
from the heart.
Exactly, and there are some music as well that I now you really barely can listen to, because it reminds me maybe of not the best moment of my life. But it was still it was still felt like a purgatory vision of music, and just to say that Mariana Trench, one of my biggest fears is the ocean, and the idle zone, and the abyssal zone, and so really below what's I don't like it.
Yeah.
The intro of the EP, I know I can't listen to it now. It fears me. It was a hella moment to record it, because I use like a submarine. Submarine effects, in the background. And I remember it was hard to record, but I wanted to explore, this zone, this area. I wasn't, I didn't know, or I was scared about.
Sorry. So is it like, we're almost talking about like a phobia, a kind of.
Thalasso.
Are you afraid of water, drowning, swimming anyway? Or?
Yeah, especially when it's huge, like definitely oceans, and
when it's really deep and.
Exactly, and
sorry, man, we shouldn't be talking about this.
with pleasure.
This is the Bass Agenda therapy session. You see, man, we're doing.
Let's go. Let me grab a coffee and let's go.
Just lie down. I'll talk slowly. Yeah, man, that's interesting. Wow. So you really, So you, as you were saying, you really get in touch with something when you make your music.
what I love about music and what I think what makes music so much music, and it's the fact that it has this magic abilities to let you express something more complex than language can just do. I mean,
it's interesting. When I interviewed, you're obviously familiar with Anthony Rosser. I've interviewed him twice, a few years. The first interview I did with him quite a few years ago, and he said when he makes music, sometimes he feels like he's gone on a trip, and it takes him a while to adjust to coming back to like he's actually been somewhere. Traveled somewhere in the process. Okay. Does that sounds like what you're talking about?
I mean, it gives me goosebumps. I mean, anytime you see Anthony Rother playing as well, how lovely is it to see it enjoying that much music?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to be completely yourself, in general, and of course in life, I guess. But in music, I mean, it's even more hard. I think. I mean, we all have precious moments with ourselves. When you can also express it in a particular way, then it is it's beautiful. It's like as you said, and also as I think Street said, it's something that you can't definitely. You can't talk about, and even more.
Like you said about it's more effective than conventional language, spoken language.
Yeah,
there's layers there that you just can't find words for.
Definitely, I mean it's It feels like an extensions are your own.
So do you have the concept first and then develop the track, or do you experiment, make a track, and then start to reverse engineer it?
It both works, but I mainly prefer, to start with an idea, and then, just go with it. And it was the same case, for Forest Temple. It was more about this idea of our secrets Forest Temple, and then started from there, and then just go with the the flow, as we can say.
No, I get you. No, that's interesting, man. I like that. That's really cool. I was just going to say, so what do you I know you said you started off with Machine. I think you said Machine. Yep. What are you still working with that, or are you going into? Are you looking at hardware or software? What are you?
I mainly prefer, to work on hardware. I mean, I feel it's more. It's not about like an old. I don't want to sound like an old way. Like, hardware is better than software, and the other are just shitty. And no, I mean, for me, it's the best way to express it. It feels more natural to do it that way. It keeps inspiring me, and I love to have this ability to touch something,
Yeah. And I guess as a drummer, it makes sense because you're used to it's a physical
as well.
It's a physical thing. Yeah. No, that makes sense, man. So what sort of work are you happy to tell me a little bit about what gear you're using? What people,
I mean,
or is it top secret?
No, it's I mean, every we all can have the same gear, but we will never achieve the same sounds, I guess. So I mainly most of the songs you've probably heard from here are a lot of them produced with the machine drums from Electron and the Analog 4. So both of those machines it still feels like my basic. Now I added a digitact. Recently a mono machine, and now I'm more and more interested about two things. About one, the modular systems, about experimenting stuff. It's also very you can buy a module that is it's an antenna from a theremin.
Right.
Then whenever you get close to it with your hand, it can change parameters, and it's a lot of fun to experiment with it. I definitely recommend.
That sounds great, man. That sounds fantastic.
This is, I mean, you definitely. This type of things is will always keep you a child, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Wow.
And so modular.
That sounds cool.
And tapes more and more about so yeah, for this is what I've built up. So mainly electrons, hardware, a modular, and then tapes, and big overdrive from Sherman, the filter bank. I don't know if you're familiar with it. So, highly recommended. Maybe a bit underrated, I guess. But so efficient. Some drums.
Lots of toys to play with.
Exactly. Then it's just like Wonderland every day.
This is Clatterbox, and you are listening to Bass Agenda.
at one moment in France there was like Gesaffelstein, really well known. I mean, it was worldwide as well, but since he's also French, I think it was also a very popular movement for teenagers to listen to Gesaffelstein.
Yeah, sure.
And I was as well pretty interested by this by this music. This happens before I discover really techno and then Francois Dillinger. And from Gesaffelstein, I then discovered Gesamtkunstwerk by Doppler-Effekt. And then, because his name is Geza from Gesamtkunstwerk and Feldstein, I don't remember. Then I discovered Doppler-Effekt. At the point I was listening, at this moment I was listening to it. It wasn't. It was fascinating as well, inspiring, as of course, and it was also really it wasn't at the moment really such a big deal for me. It was. It kind of felt like a lovely remember between this genre that Gesaffelstein brought to my ears, and appealing to my childhood with all this all the 8-bit music from video games and this type of music that is also not really taking themselves seriously. The song "Scientist" or "I wanna make love to a mannequin." It's
yeah.
I mean, I love this.
I want to be a porno star.
This type of music is.
That was me quoting lyrics, by the way. I'm not confessing here. I'm just saying.
Still, it could be. I mean, this type of music is very inspiring, or in the message also to say, just be serious by doing what you do, but don't take yourself seriously as well. And it's something it's always there for me as well, and this is why I also call myself Lord Jalapenos. I mean, I could have been Captain Potato, or I don't know.
Hey man, that could be your side project,
Definitely. Wow, let's do 4/4 again.
I'm going to keep searching SoundCloud for that until it comes up.
I'll let you know.
So I'm just thinking, you mentioned video games, so we ought to talk about the SNES F-Zero Mute City theme. I'd never heard of this game. I looked it up. It looks like a kind of Wipeout, you know, the PlayStation Wipeout?
Yeah.
Futuristic racing kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I've never heard of it before. So tell me about that, man.
For me, it was one of my first video game ever with Star Fox as well. Do you know this game? Maybe
Star Fox.
Yeah, Star Fox.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Yeah.
It's more or less the same idea about futuristic era, about just very dystopian, and so this video game was one of my first video game I've ever played, and I barely played it since I wasn't able to play it a lot, but it was always a wonderful memory, and is still the case that when you listen to the music, and if you don't know the game, still makes you what were your thoughts about
it does have a real sense of nostalgia about it. But for me, it also amazes me what they could do with so little technology, really, when you consider what's around now. You know, it's crazy. So yeah, it's kind of that, and I think you get that with electro as well, and Doppler effect's a good example where you get that. It's kind of a mixture of nostalgia and futurism, and somehow both existing at the same time, man. And I got that with that track as well. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's really right, the way you were saying this, like this.
But it's like listening to something like Kraftwerk to me. It's you know it's very old, but there's still something in there that beams you into the future, and I love that juxtaposition. I suppose it's really cool.
I don't know if this makes sense, but also for DJ that are not really into electro music, or that are not really pulls out electro DJ sets, they still sometimes use electro track, and for me this is one of the exceptions in music, that it doesn't feel old. It's always like bass. It's always there. It's always the underground of. It's the roots of a lot of things, I guess. And I don't know if you agree with this, or I mean, electro can't die.
No, absolutely. It's. I mean, what you're describing, I suppose, is timelessness. Yeah, no, I agree. And there's a lot more DJs these days, I think, they'll drop in a little bit of electro. And if you think about the thought process behind that, the reason they've put that in there is because they want to put something interesting into their set. So I'm sure they're playing good music, but at some point they've thought, right, I want to drop something here that's really going to get people's attention. And they choose electro to do that.
Exactly. It's still there. It will always be, and it will always be.
Yeah. I hope so.
I think so.
I hope so. I don't know what I'll do with my time otherwise, man. Yeah. So that track, was it purely kind of that childhood memory kind of thing with that track, or was there any more about it, like the composition or anything that grabbed you?
As you said it really wisely, the fact that they were putting so much musicality and creativity into one cartridge of game, it's so dynamic. I mean, when you hear this, you always, I mean, I listen to it sometimes, all alone, and I have a huge smile on my face. I wanna. It's all good, and nothing can stop me when I'm listening to this type of music.
Yeah.
It's just to say that the purpose of this music is to give you really a vibe, to give you something about a feeling, even for the more the more recent releases, even for I mean, have you heard of the game called Iron Lungs?
Maybe. I'm not sure. Not sure, to be honest.
No worries. It's an indie game came out recently, and
Okay.
it's definitely
What format? What platform is it on? Is it PC or?
it's on PC. It's a horror game.
Right.
And so the ambience of this music, I mean, all the game looks like it was made in the 90s, type of. But
Right.
yeah, the ambience of the game is really dark, and all the music does a lot in it.
I'll have to check it out.
Lovely. The producer of the game dropped the album on Bandcamp as well.
Wow.
So if you want to have a listen on,
Yeah, man, I'll check that out. That's interesting. Yeah. And then obviously Syrte Machine Reveries. I mean, that's so good, man.
I mean, how can you describe this track like gently?
Yeah.
As you said, Syrte, you know, and Science Skills, you know, what they I've got, obviously much love and respect, you know, for them, for what they spread, and for their love of music. For me, it's huge. Those are really important people for me, and thanks to Francois Dillinger as well, that they made the bond between me and Science Girl. So yeah, this was really a turnover people as well for me, and they are still really important for me, and as well as personally, then musically as well. I mean, they since day one they trust me, and this is really something priceless. Even more in this industry. Anytime that Syrte puts on music, it's a huge slaps again in your face, you know, if you. But I have to say that this is one of my favorite artist, of course, and from this artist, this is one of my favorite tracks. It was a huge discovery for me this year, this past year. The sounds, like feels like a fucking rock wave, like this huge things.
It is a massive. Oh, I mean, the production's just. I mean, he's on another level, I think.
So much
compared to the majority. It's so good, and his mastering is very, very good as well.
And this is for a lot of people that this is so much that they are really just when you hear them blind, you can say that this is a Syrte track, really appealing to me.
This is Syrte, and you are listening to Bass Agenda.
So, Undercover, Lost, Where Dead Droids Go. It took me a while to track that down, man. That was interesting.
I mean,
but yeah, because it's on. Is it Soulseek? Is it on Soulseek?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have ever thought that Soulseek would have done a compilations? I mean, it's.
I know, it's weird, and it is actually curated by Soulseek themselves, isn't it? I think.
It's even further than that. It's that Soulseek reached out to his community to choose all the to make like a public vote about what kind of music they wanted in this compilations. And did you heard all the compilations or just this track?
I had a flip. I've only listened to this track in full. I flicked through the rest. There's quite a mixture of stuff. I mean, some good stuff on there.
Yeah, I like to dig music, on YouTube into playlists because there's a lot of users that publicly just drop their playlist, and there was a playlist called the IDM Dark. I remember. And this track was on it.
So what was it about that track that grabbed you, man?
I mean, the sound design, of course. I love the sections about when the song starts. When you have this, it feels like in the middle of the songs, but it's madness. It's mechanical. Yeah. It's wow. It's the type of music I also love. It's but I don't know if it was also a feeling for you, but I felt like it was also all it wasn't too much, too busy. It wasn't it didn't get me the feeling about breakcore or speedcore, something like very busy.
It wasn't overwhelming.
I mean the balance of this track is it's amazing, and I love the sound designs and
have you found more music by that artist?
Also there is another album from Undercover. I guess it was binaural beats. There was one track called Binaural Beats 04 that is also really interesting, lovely, crazy drumming style, and that is.
Check it out.
I hope you'll like it.
Hi, this is Cisco from The Advent, and I listen to Bass Agenda.
Yeah, so have you got anything planned for the future that you can talk about? Have you got stuff lined up for this year?
Yeah, I guess the beginning of the year will be pretty busy, in a good way, of course. So next week I'm playing for Ethos Records, French label based in Rennes.
Okay.
So they've got so I'm playing a live set. So it's been a while since I didn't do like a live gig, so I'm pretty excited about this one.
Nice.
And per extensions, I'm dropping an album with them. Okay. Starting also like by the beginning of this year. And yeah, so this year and the beginning of the year will be more about producing stuff. There will be music dropping by like bit in and there. And after this I have no plan.
Yeah.
Honestly,
you don't have to have one, man.
You're right.
You don't. Nobody says you got to.
I mean, I guess I will. I'll love to of course record more and more stuff. And maybe also to forecast more self releases. It's
right.
And yeah, okay. I wanna also explore other regions. I wanna maybe more do more stuff about video video stuff. I really got my intentions a lot. So mixing the both. Let's see.
Yeah,
exciting of your part.
Fantastic stuff from Lord Jalapenos. Keep an eye on him. Huge amount of output. Really high standard stuff. And I've got a feeling this year's going to be a really exciting one for him and for us too. As always, the full track list plus download of the show is up first on patreon.com/bassagenda, plus a voice-free alternative mix version of the show as well. That'll be available on Saturday for you. It'll be on general release on soundcloud.com/bassagenda at some point next week. Don't forget to check out Space Lab when it launches in a couple of weeks' time. Keep an eye on the Bass Agenda socials for details on that one. Bass Agenda will be back next month with another guest. We're going to close the show with one of the tracks that started it all for Lord Jalapenos. As mentioned a few times in the show, Francois Dillinger with Simple Math. Thanks for listening. Take care of each other. Catch you soon. Cheers.